Yeah, okay. Um, so let's get started. I'll add the tags later. So, many of us use Windows as an operating system. Others have a Macintosh. They use MacBooks or those Apple computers that have a different but similar operating system. It's not too different. Um, and others use Linux. The thing is, most of us buy the computer, and it has the operating system. It has Windows pre-installed in it, or some of us ask a friend to install Windows or the operating system on the computer for us. Because we don't know how to. Some of us know how to, and even if we do know how to, we're not aware about certain risks we're taking by just letting a few built-in gadgets or widgets or other services and programs run in the background and do the things they do without our approval, without us knowing. How to protect ourselves first? Let's give some examples of these kinds of situations. Um, for example, Windows 11, for example, has built-in artificial intelligence, AI Copilot AI, and it also Cortana. No, but I don't know if Cortana is still around. I think Copilot might have replaced Cortana. It just mentions three recent cases, one from 2024 and two from 2026. Um, Recent research has documented several vulnerabilities in Microsoft Copilot that allow attackers to exploit the AI for data exfiltration through these cases typically though these cases typically involve stealing data from the victim rather than farming them. I try to the thing is this copilot, this artificial intelligence, for example, is installed in our computer, and for example, you try to remove it, and basically I try to do is go to add or remove programs, and in this list, like the apps, installed apps, this is how you find the list. Uh, since they're in alphabetical order, I was expecting to find the Copilot over here to remove it, you know. I didn't. I had to search for it for a while, and eventually I found it doing this. So I opened clicked over here. You either click over here or press the Windows key that's left to the space bar. Has got this symbol on it. Okay, or you click here and type run over there, and over here in the run window, you type gpedit.msc, gpedit, gpedit.msc. Okay, gpedit.msc, and you click OK, and this window appears. Okay, the local group policy editor. So you extend this for just a bit because you want to see the whole name, for example, and you open administrative tools. Then you go to, or you click over here on this arrow and it drops down, and you go to Windows Components, and if you scroll down, you have Windows AI, Windows Artificial Intelligence, and you double click it, and you have Remove Microsoft Copilot app. And this is how you remove the Copilot app from your Windows operating system. I have Windows 11, but the Copilot has been around, I think, previous to 2024 when it admits about this case. The thing is, These widgets and AIs that are come built in with Windows are used to frame people, not just spy on them and steal their data, like account usernames and passwords. So, as I was saying, um, over here, in order to remove it, you double click it, and this window appears. Okay, and you click enable and apply, because if you click disable, it's gonna disable the removal of the Copilot app. Okay, you don't want to disable the removal, you want to enable. Usually, like, the default is not configured, you know. And then you click enabled, apply, and okay. Was that the okay? So enable, apply, okay. If you extend this window over here, you have the state of each setting, and some of over here you can see now it's enabled. Okay, the removal is enabled. For most of them, is gonna be not configured. If you never entered this place before, this local group policy editor, probably all of them are gonna be not in the state of not configured, which is this one. And you want to decide whether or not you have it not configured, enabled, or disabled. Okay. As you can see, I disabled some of them. Again, depending on what this text says over here, and what the description is, because over here in the help you have this text. If you double click it, this window, as I said, opens, and in the help window you have this description, okay, telling you what each setting does. And this is how you this this policy setting allows you to uninstall Microsoft Copilot, for example. Okay, so I enabled it, applied, and okay. uh, and depending on the description over here that's written under help, you want to decide whether or not you want to keep what settings you want to set over here, and then click apply. Do not forget to click apply and okay. Now, besides this Copilot, we have the widgets. Okay, uh, but first, let's also mention researches regarding the Copilot that's built in Windows. Researchers demonstrated a critical vulnerability allowing hackers to steal 2FA codes and sensitive emails with a single click by using a parameter to prompt injection. Attackers tricked Copilot into embedding stolen data in image URLs, which were then sent to attacker controlled servers via Bing as a trampoline. And they don't necessarily have to use Bing, they can use Google, they can use loads of other services for this. This effectively turned the chatbot, and it's not, that's the thing, it's telling you it's just a chatbot. It's working in the background, it's a background process. That's the same, because I tried to, sorry, I'm just a bit thirsty. Uh, I tried to find it over here, and since they're in alphabetical order, Copilot should have been over here in this list. You know. So um, next, um, attackers could inject in January 2026 identified that attackers could inject malicious prompts that force Copilot to repeat tasks, bypassing security controls to exfiltrate private chat history, usernames, and locations even after the user closed the chat window. So, because, and you know why it allowed them to do that even after they closed the chat window? Because the Copilot is not just a robot that you chat with. It's a software. It's a program that's working in the background. Copilot phishing. Oh yeah. Let's add this as a tag over here. web. Ok, drum bun. Să încuiați ușa. Um, Researcher Michael Baggery, I think maybe I didn't pronounce it correctly, showed how hijacked accounts could use Copilot to automatically draft and send spear phishing emails, mimicking the victim's writing style. So it can impersonate you. You know, they can frame you for doing stuff you didn't actually do, using these background processes. And I'm not just talking about the Copilot that I just showed you how hard it is to find in Windows when you try to remove it. Okay, because we were also talking about the widgets such as news and weather. You know, because you got like weather in Windows if you're connected to the internet. And let's not forget that a lot of us have these widgets like weather and news on the phone. You know, and we're using these apps on the phone because they're loads of them are pre-installed, and they're like, yeah, I'm going to use this, sure. And recently, from what I understand, Google made a modification that you cannot remove certain apps that you want to remove from your phone. For example, Gboard. I tried to remove Gboard, and I cannot remove it anymore. I had another app from Google which I kept deactivating, and it kept activating by itself. You know, it's strange. So yeah, fortunately, yeah, and I get certain errors when I try to uninstall certain apps, and I cannot uninstall certain apps which I installed. You know, that's strange through the App Store. So furthermore, yeah, Google doesn't allow you, like if you go like on the phone, you should be able to have like a three dot drop down menu in the app section in the application list on your phone to see all the apps and advanced settings for each and every one of them in order to disable them, uninstall them, or stop them, or grant or remove certain permissions for these apps, because a lot of these apps have access to your camera, location, microphone, so they take like your tone of voice and then like they make databases. It's not just Microsoft, it's Google and all of these companies, smaller companies and larger corporations collecting data about users. Some of them are exchanging these databases in between them, and others are selling these databases to companies. Some of these companies just want to make a rough idea about their potential client list, and other companies have malicious purposes with these databases, with this information, like your vocal print, your tone of voice, because they can use software once they have your tone of voice to make a recording sound like you. And with the AI generating software uh, that's like producing video, like Google VO3, I showed in a previous live stream regarding deepfakes, and how loads of these videos are actually AI, but they're uh, labeled, their watermarks are removed. And I'm not just talking about the pictures on the screen, I'm talking about the settings like behind the file. Those settings are removed, so you cannot really tell whether or not they're real or fake. Um, so they exchange these databases in between them. Some of them sell them, and now, as I said, Google is barely allowing users to uninstall pre-installed apps on their phone. So yeah, as I was saying, um, mimicking the victim's writing style. So they're use not just Copilot. With this data they're collecting about you, they're impersonating you, and they're framing loads of people, loads of innocent people get behind bars and unfortunately die behind bars uh, innocent, because they're being framed with this data collected. Because they're not just collecting usernames, they're collecting passwords. That's another big issue. But we'll get to that. Um to the password collection. So the core issue across these cases is indirect prompt injection, where AI models cannot reliably distinguish between user instructions and untrusted external data. Microsoft has patched these specific vulnerabilities, but underlying architectural challenge of LLM security remains. Next, um, supply chain attacks involving the widgets, such as weather. I just mentioned. Where is it? Like the weather widget, you get on the screen this kind of stuff, for example, with the weather on the screen, and not necessarily on the screen. Some of us have the weather over here in the taskbar. In news, that's another widget. Sticky notes, that's another widget. you know they're collecting data. So let's get back to the what I was reading. Supply chain attacks involving widgets. NPM dependency confusion. This is from May 2026, but there have been documented cases of these widgets being used to frame people uh, with the through the widgets, but it's not mentioning them. That's the sad part, because the robot's hiding loads of information. So Microsoft uncovered the supply chain attack where malicious npm packages uh, impersonated internal corporate modules, including names like uh, payments dash widget slash payments widgets SDK. So SDK, some of you might remember, it's a program. It's got like Windows SDK in the add or remove programs list over here, and it's probably at the bottom of the list over here, you know, um, and it's used to control background applications. These packages, once installed by developers, executed reconnaissance or recognizance payloads to steal environment data and credentials, so usernames and passwords, uh, not just usernames. This campaign targeted software development environments rather than end user Windows widgets, and while it stole data, it was not designed to frame users for external. It's lying. It's lying to your face over here. It was not designed. Oh, it's saying it was not. Sorry, no, it's not lying. It's saying it was not designed to frame. Yeah, that was not the purpose of the widgets. The thing is, these widgets have have access to too much information regarding your computer. They should have access to the weather, because, for example, weather should have access to weather. News or sticky notes, they should have restricted access. So I don't know, maybe they started it in one way, but this goes back, way back to Windows 8. Not just it mentions this case from May 2026, but this goes back to Windows 8, maybe Windows 7. Um, so yeah, it was not designed, it says, to frame users, but it is used to frame users, even if it's not designed to frame users for external crimes. Um, so, as I was saying, um, we're gonna move on from here, because I want to get like to this part over here. I gave you these examples, okay? But in order for these changes to take effect, you need to open command prompt and type a command into it. So after you, for example, go over here, and select one of these settings, and click apply, and OK. This is not enough in order for the change to take effect. You also need to go over here in the start menu or press the Windows key on your keyboard next to your space bar. Okay, so I just press the Windows key, it's gonna open up, and type CMD or CMD, sorry, or run, and over here type CMD, and it's gonna open up command prompt, and over here you have to type a command. Let's look for the command that we need to type in order for these changes from we make over here and these in the local group policy editor to take effect. um, where is it? Okay, over here. So in this window of command prompt of CMD, in this black window, need to type, wait, minimize this for a moment, move it over here, make this window smaller. Okay, and over here you type this gp update space slash force. So gp update space slash force, and you press enter, and it's saying returns updating policy. And you have to receive this message. It says over here, right? Computer policy update has completed successfully. User policy update has completed successfully. So now these changes that you made over here have come into effect. If you make other changes afterwards later, you're gonna need to open this window again and type the same text over here, gp update space slash force. Okay, in order for the next changes you want to make to take effect. Okay, so again, if you want to open that black window, you go over here. Probably should open up if you type just cmd. Okay, or do type run, and over here type the same thing in the run window. Okay, so now let's look. We looked at the Windows AI. Now let's open up regarding services, because we have loads of services like background applications that I mentioned. They come pre-installed. They're built in Windows or the operating system that you're using. Lots of us are using Windows. So, and as I was saying, these apps are pre-installed, and we have no idea about them, such as Copilot. Remember, because I didn't see Copilot over here. I didn't see Copilot over here. I found out it's I didn't know I had Copilot. I had to search for it over there because I didn't find it in the other removes program. So another place to look for built-in applications, which to be honest, I don't know how to remove these yet. I just know how to disable some of them. Is you do the same, just open the start menu again, press over here. Okay, and over here type in the search bar, type services, and the services window is gonna appear. And I'm not much of an Xbox fan. The thing is, Microsoft is either in partnership with Xbox or owns Xbox. The thing is, I'm not into Xbox. Over here, you have loads of services. You have the description over here for some of them, but this is not the full description, because if you hold your mouse on top of it, it's gonna expand. Well, sorry, it's gonna expand, and you can do also this in order to read more of that description, or you can double click the the service, and you have the description over here. Okay, and over here you have the startup type manual, and you can set it from automatic, uh, delayed start, automatic, simple, manual, or disabled. Okay, I'm not gonna do anything to this one for now because I don't know what it does. It says, yeah, we're gonna move on. This one might be something I approve of, because you don't want to go and disable something that your computer needs to run in a good way, you know. So as I was saying, uh, in this list, if you scroll down to the bottom, I don't have an Xbox. I have four applications with Xbox, four services pre-installed in Windows for Xbox. I don't use Xbox. You know, why does it have, if I wanted these apps, I would have downloaded them, you know, I would have installed it, and you, if that makes sense. So I clicked over here, and I clicked selected disabled, and I clicked apply for all four of them. Okay, I also have one of them which is super strange. I don't know what this one is. WAASMEDICSVC, because it says at the description, failed to read description, error code 2. And when I searched for the description, I copied the description, uh, and I asked over here, and it said error code 2 translates to, meaning Windows cannot locate the service's executable file or its metadata in the registry. So this typically occurs when a service was improperly installed, leaving behind an orphaned registry entry that points to a missing binary or lacks description value. Um, so I tried this might be something malicious that I want to get rid of, you know. So the thing is, I tried. It says manual. I'm happy it says manual, but and it's not automatic. But I wanted to disable it, and I get an error. Access is denied. So this is suspicious. Okay, so yeah, can't do anything about this that service right now. About this one. I'm gonna have to look into it later. Okay, I do not know if for the services changes you make, you have to open this window again to type the same command I just showed you over here, gp update space slash force. I don't know if you need to uh, do type this command in here again in order for changes made in services to take effect. Let's ask actually. Uh, for changes make in the services in Windows, do I need to open to type the command, uh, what was it, gp update, I think, space, yeah, gp update space slash force question mark. No, you generally do not need to run for changes made to Windows services. Group policy. Oh, okay. So this applies only to these changes made in the local group policy editor. Okay. Do I need changes made directly in the service console or via standard Windows commands are local configurations and take effect immediately upon the next service restart. Okay, so you need to restart your computer in order for the changes you make over here in the service windows to take effect. Okay, so yeah, keep in mind you want to know what's in your computer, what's pre-installed, because some of them are actually collecting your data, such as like uh, your face, your tone of voice, stuff like that. Not only those, usernames, passwords. Um, oh yeah, let's get the passwords, and they're not just selling them. Many of them, like maybe let's say they're just selling them to someone else, and someone else who's buying them is using them. Some of those that are buying these kinds of things are using those databases to impersonate the users and frame users. um, on the clean web and on the deep web or shadow web as well, whatever you want to call it. So widgets, allow widgets, I selected disabled over here in the local group policy editor. I disabled the allow widgets, disable widget board. I'm gonna enable this, to be honest. I just want to make sure because that maybe this one, maybe allow widgets being disabled is not enough. So yeah. Now going back, let's get to the password collection. Um, and you want to do this, you might want to do this. I intend to do this for all of these, for all of the folders and the local group policy editors, to open each and every one of them and double click them, okay, not secure boot, maybe, but who knows, because I want to know like the description for each and every one of them, you know in order to be able to tell if I want to enable or disable them or leave them not configured. Okay, because I don't want these kinds of things. What's the status? Not configured. Yeah, enable, turn off active help, and you gotta read the text, like, and also this is one another important reasons to pay attention to the title, because it has turn off and you disabled it, then you enable the active help, for example, um, because it says if you enable this policy setting, active content links are not rendered. The text is displayed, but there are no clickable links for these elements. If you disable or do not configure this policy setting, the default behavior applies. Um, okay, where was it? OneDrive. Wait, no, I forgot about this one. I'm not using OneDrive, you know? Oh, prevent. No, I want this enabled. Sorry. If you enable this, users cannot access OneDrive from OneDrive app and file picker. So if I just enabled it, if you enable this policy setting, users can't access OneDrive. So be careful if you are using OneDrive. You might want to keep this not configured or disabled. I'm not, but it's automatically saving them to OneDrive, and I do not want that. Okay, so I prevented and I enabled the prevention. Okay, let's get where the location and sensors. No, let's go to biometrics for now. Okay, because over here you got biometrics. So if you, especially if you're using a laptop, but even computers have sensors. Okay, and they detect you if you're around. And it says over here, like, you can log in with your face, not just on your phone. You can unlock your laptop and stuff like that. And Me personally, I disable these settings, because with the use of biometrics, like it collects your data, it takes your the way you look, the way you sound, uh, and after it takes it, Microsoft, as I said, sells these databases to other corporations, to other companies, such as where's the example? Whoop. Okay, over here. Wait. Privacy diagnostics, between quotation marks. So yeah, privacy diagnostics. Because I asked, who else can collect information from my privacy diagnostics? And it says, wait, app developers. This is one example, because it sells one of these the partners of Microsoft, for example, which are buying one of the third party uh, partners are Spotify and Google Chrome, and Google, not just Chrome. And these are just examples, okay? And it says over here it just collects information about crashes and like regular stuff, but it's actually doing more than that, because when you ask what data is included, it goes over here, input data, samples of typing, so it knows your writing style, inking and speech, voice commands. So you might not be aware, but you have voice commands enabled somewhere over here if you never opened this window, you know, and you want to disable those. So these voice commands, your tone of voice, inking, speech, and also like pictures, face, what computer you're using, you know, what your websites you visited, which apps you opened, how you interact with them. Are these databases, this information is being sold to companies like Spotify or Google. Okay, and these are just examples, as I said. So going back, I disabled biometrics. Over here you have another folder, facial features. You can configure enhanced anti-spoofing, because since uh, they collect your tone of voice and the way you look, uh, with the AI, like Google VO3 program that's making artificial intelligence videos, or other similar artificial intelligence video software that can place like a mask on you on top. For example, on WhatsApp, like through a video call, you can add bunny ears to someone through the AI during the video call, and you can. There's loads of these kinds of softwares. So they take your face and they impersonate you live in your laptop in order to access your laptop with even with your tone of voice, you know. So app privacy, over here. So we're in administrative templates, Windows components, app privacy. uh, let Windows apps access account information? No. uh, Access call history? No, I disabled. Over here you can see that showed you how to enable or disable these, right? Apply, and then how to uh, uh, enforce the commands, for the user policy update to being completed. Access to email over here. Okay, so it has access to email, uh, and the list goes on, because over here, whoop, let apps access passkeys, so it's accessing passwords. This is okay. Well, we got to this point. Let apps access passkeys? No, disabled. Why would weather or the news widget or the sticky notes widget want to access my passkeys? Enumerate, enumerate passkeys? No. Let Windows apps make phone calls? No, I don't want Windows make like the widgets from my phone from my computer, making calls, uh, which are impersonating me because they have my tone of voice or my face. So I disabled that. Uh, Now, keep in mind, just because you disable the let apps access passkeys over here doesn't mean they don't have the thing is, the terrorist networks, the terrorist organizations kidnaps kidnap the anti-terrorist hackers. Because the anti-terrorist departments have hackers, and the terrorists kidnapped loads of anti-terrorist hackers because they wanted to hijack like society. They're like gypsies, which are uh, getting they're claiming, oh, white men come and steal our technology. So they're the ones that are actually kidnapping smart individuals and forcing them to work for them, uh, you know um, uh, threatening them, taking them hostage, when at some point maybe the hostage gives in and joins their terrorist organization in order to get like a few perks, for example, uh, you know to get like a bit of freedom back and not be in the same state of imprisonment that the terrorists are keeping the Christian in. So, as I was saying, the anti-terrorist department or the cybernetic security department have, because you disable these widgets, which a lot of them are being used, as I said, to frame people and to collect information, usernames and passwords from users. But uh, inside your monitor screen, there's also a software, a program that's not gonna appear over here in add or remove program over here, you know, and it's not gonna appear over here, and it's not gonna appear over here in the local group policy editor either, because the manufacturers of the computers are pre-installing these programs inside the monitors. So like the government knows what you're doing, can look at your monitor live, see what you're doing, and make sure you're not doing something illegal, you know. So, as I was saying, the terrorists kidnapped anti-terrorist hackers and cyber police and forced them to give them this software that is planted, that's showing the police the image captured through the display, through the program installed in the display of the machine, of the computer. Okay, so it's not just like screen sharing, like it's not just team viewer. It's something that's built in the monitor, in the physical monitor itself. You cannot see it, you cannot uninstall that. And like the manufacturer put that there in order to, initially it was there to keep the government safe in a way, and stay safe from terrorism. The thing is, the terrorists figured this out, and they kidnapped the guys that had access to the software, and they're using it against the Christians. You know, excuse me for a moment. I'll go to the bathroom, take a leak, and I'll be right back. So, going back, uh, mentioned the pre-installed software and the monitor. Now, showed you this one. Now at the bottom, let Windows apps over here. So we're in the local group policy editor. I'm done for the moment with services. I'm gonna uh, exit the this window for now. Uh, so let Windows apps communicate with unpaired devices. So if someone's near, let's say you're connected to the internet through a Wi-Fi and not through cable, or maybe you are connected through cable, but if you have like a decent, not necessarily a new computer, you probably have a built-in uh, wireless transmission or Bluetooth uh, incorporated in your computer without you knowing, you know. So devices that get in the range, unpaired devices, unrecognized devices, devices you do not approve of, might interact, communicate with your machine. Okay, so the state of all of these, if you never opened this window before, is probably not configured. So I disabled a lot of them and I enabled a few. So this one, for example, I click disabled, apply. Okay, keep in mind after you make all of these changes, you got to go over here and type the gp update space slash force for the changes that go into effect, um, and maybe restart your computer afterwards. And over here again, let Windows apps run in the background. So I disabled this one as well. Let Windows apps activate with voice while the system is locked. So where you have, like, let's say you have a microphone at your computer, or laptops have a microphone incorporated, you know. So your laptop's turned off, but it's still listening to you, you know, and your apps are working in the background without you knowing. Now, some of you might use voice commands to activate these apps. And I'm not, I don't get me like, oh, the battery's not going down. Uh, these apps were working in the background. The battery would go out. The thing is, the battery, if you leave a laptop turned off for long enough, the battery is gonna uh, go out either way, because the batteries are not gonna stay charged forever, you know. Um, Eventually, like, wherever you leave them, the energy trapped inside the battery is gonna dissipate. It's not gonna keep it trapped there forever, you know. Uh, so it is going down, and these apps are not consuming so much of the battery in order to run, in order to do those commands that are being used to impersonate you or spy on you, because you have sensors like let Windows apps access motion over here, for example. You know, is in a similar way that your phone has these sensors and tells can detect how far you are from the phone, which position you're sitting in, uh, stuff like that. You know, in the same way, your machines also have these sensors without you knowing, probably. So um, Disabled Windows apps activate with voice while system is locked. Disabled Windows apps activate with voice. Uh, Disabled let Windows apps access trusted devices. Because let's say I have a trusted device, I don't want the widgets that are stealing my information steal the information from the trusted device I'm using that I have connected to the computer. Um, Control radios, no. Make Let Windows apps make phone calls, no. Disabled. Access notifications, no. Access passkeys, I mentioned, no. Ooh, wait. Access motion, no. Access the microphone, no. And you can hear me right now. I have this the setting disabled, so it's not like OBS, the software I'm used to stream right now through on YouTube, is a Windows app that's accessing the microphone. No, we're talking about the background processes or the pre-installed apps such as weather, news, sticky notes, okay, and other similar applications that come pre-installed with Windows. We're gonna get to another one, or no, let's actually get to that one right now. Because in the add or remove programs list over here, you have some pre-installed applications. Sorry. Yeah. Uh, One of these pre-installed applications is, where is it? Not the, Also this one, remote desktop. No, wait. It's called remote desktop connection. Okay, on Windows 11 you're probably gonna find it in the add or remove programs list, and it's primarily the purpose of it, as for as in the same manner in which the weather's widget purpose is to just give you information about the weather. The remote desktop connection's purpose is to make you access your laptop through a different machine, like have two machines, for example, stream from your laptop to a television, or connect two laptops and connect the other laptop with your laptop, using your laptop as a remote control. The thing is, this goes both ways, not just you doing that. So having this program installed is risky. It's not telling you, so I removed this. Okay. uh, Start Experience app. Start Experiences app also found. So these the ones I'm telling you right now are found, should be found over here in the Other Removes Programs list, in the apps installed apps list. Okay, this one is called Start Experiences app. So its purpose is the engine behind the widgets feed. You know, it acts as the engine behind the widgets feed. So I uninstalled this because uninstalled the widgets, and I also don't want the widgets engine functioning. So just because you uninstall weather, news, and sticky notes doesn't mean that this is not doing the same thing as the other three I just mentioned. Okay. Windows App SDK runtime architecture. So Windows App SDK, also found over here in the installed apps list, um, specifically handles background processes and services that cannot run directly inside an application's process. So I uninstalled it. Okay. And over here we have Windows App Runtime Main. This is where I wanted to get to, especially because this one, it says over here, is a core core system component that enables modern Windows applications to access shared features and APIs decoupled from the operating system version. So it doesn't need Windows permission in order to do these changes inside your system, or alert the other system regarding the changes you are making in your computer. For those of you who don't know, and over here it says APIs, so it's a plural. It's not just API. Now, uh, API is application programming interface, from what I remember. Yes, API stands for Application Programming Interface. Um, Interfaces that allow software to access shared features and system capabilities. Okay, so these shared features, as I said, can be uh, like it's giving you like a broad. It's not going into detail regarding what's collecting, and keep in mind it said APIs. It's not just API as it's over here, it's API, so it's plural. So more of these applications, such as widgets, news, sticky notes, and these programs I showed you that are in the installed apps list, um, use these APIs that are being used to extract the information and send it further. So I also uninstalled Windows App Runtime, okay, because it doesn't need Windows permission in order to. It's decoupled from the operating system version, you know, allowing developers to use the latest Windows features on older versions of Windows 10 and 11 without waiting for an update of the operating system. Yeah, no shit. Why doesn't it ask for permission? It's just doing this kind of stuff, and this is what was telling you, because the robot lied before, so it's giving you the information that's allowed to give you, if you understand. But even through decoupled from the operating system version, um, you can get like a good clue that it's running at the shell level, like in these kinds of windows, this kind of programming style, you know. Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot. In order to make all the changes you make take effect in the local group policy editor, it's not enough just to enable or disable them and click apply and OK. Afterwards, you have to type gp update space slash force. Okay, I'll do that again. So gp update space slash force, and then you press enter, and it says updating policy, and then it has to return these messages, or this message only, maybe just the one on top, not necessarily the second one, um, to tell you it has completed successfully. Computer policy update has completed successfully. User policy update has completed successfully. Okay, so this is how to make the local group policy editor changes you make take effect. So after each change, remember to type the not maybe you do like a bulk of changes, maybe you do more changes, and then you don't necessarily have like for each and every one, after each and every one, type the same command. You can make more at once. Just remember to click apply and OK, and check the status over here in this list. And at the end, after you make all the changes, go over here and type this command in order to enforce the changes on your computer. Okay. So yeah, I'm not gonna go into a lot of detail about all of these. As I showed you, you can double click them over here under help. It tells you what each and every one of these policies does. If you enable it, disable it, or leave it not configured. You know. So yeah, I just gave you like a few examples. Did I want to add something else? I'll look. I'll look a bit. Camera. Allow the use of camera. By who? You know? I wonder. So we're in the live stream right now. You know? I'm gonna disable this one, you know? And then I'm gonna type this command and see, and then I'm gonna enter the live stream on YouTube to see if my face disappears from over here. Disable. Apply. Okay. GP update space slash force. I'm still in OBS. I'm still here. Uh, so, yep, I'm still here. So you see, allowed the use of camera for who? Who is allowed to use the camera? Okay, this is a. So yeah, you gotta go in each and every folder to explore the local group policy editor in order to see what changes you want to make to your computer. Okay, uh, and check it out in order to stay safe, in order to not have like your usernames, passwords stolen, your face, your tone of voice, behavior, typing patterns, like the way you write, your writing style, in order to not have that, to try at least not have that copied. Because as I said, if they really want to do it, the terrorists, as I said, have the screen sharing software that's planted in the monitor itself, and we cannot. I don't know how to get rid of that. You have to build your own computer from scratch, and I'm not talking about ordering components and assembling them together, because it goes beyond that. You know, I got no idea how to get rid of that software planted in the monitor. I wouldn't want to get rid of that monitor if only the police of that program, if only the police had access to my screen. But unfortunately, the terrorists obtained the software as well by kidnapping the anti-terrorist hackers and cyber police hackers, and that's sad. We pray for all Christian hostages and prisoners everywhere. Hopefully, they get freed and stay safe and unharmed. Yeah, the gypsies are mad. They're jealous because you're white, and they wanna kidnap married women with children, and then uh, blackmail the child and the father, like we're gonna kill her if you don't give us money and do this and that, and they just agree in order to have the mother alive, and then the terrorists uh, uh, trying to make a hybrid between gypsies and white people, rape the poor woman and force her to give birth to a demon spawn, you know. Um, because they want to make a hybrid race, to work. That's how the Ottoman Empire works. The Muslims have this tactic, and when Romania was defending against the Turks, because we're Christian and the Turks are Muslim. They're claiming to be Christian, but to be honest, fuck them. Because look a bit at flag of Turkey. Does this look like a Christian flag, a national Christian flag to you? It doesn't look like it to me, to be honest. You know, this is a symbol used in Muslim countries and Gypsy countries. So they're trying to spread gypsiness. And as I was saying, when Romania was defending themselves against the gypsies, in order to not get, because there's loads of them. You know what I'm saying? So after the fall of Constantinople, they kept expanding the gypsiness, and in order to not to let you keep your faith and not have you conquered, the countries had to pay like protection tax, and like give the gypsies a certain amount of gold, and loads of children, loads of young ones, and women sent as emissaries in the gypsy lands, where they would be used as slaves, and also used to make, like, the boys, when the boys grew up, were sent back to fight the war against the Christians. So it was basically like Christian babies of Christians fighting the Christians themselves. Sometimes the children fighting their own fathers. You know what I'm saying? Um, and the women were being used to make this demon spawn race, that is used to camouflage, to make the terrorist organization infiltrate even further and go unnoticed uh, in Christian society, to try and camouflage, not look suspicious, but they're still being used in the same manner because they're being used. It's not like the the gypsy sultan is gonna come himself and do the work. He's got slaves doing his bidding, like demon spawns, like hybrid demon spawns and emissaries doing that kind of stuff. And the child that was left without a mother and the husband that was left without a wife, they just don't want to get her killed, and out of innocence and stupidity, because they're being promised that you can give me this amount of money or I'm going to kill her. If you give me this amount of money, I'm going to set her free, and they pay the gypsy, and they don't do what they said because they're puked up gypsies, they always lie. That's why you do not talk to gypsies ever. You're wasting your time. As Christos said, don't throw your pearls before swine. You know, and a bad tree cannot produce good fruit. Think about it. Like a gypsy cannot produce good children. They're just trying to pretend they're white. So, is there anything else? I showed you how to enforce the changes over here. As I said, uh, you should go to each and every one of them, check what they're doing over here, select not configure enabled or disabled. You know, um, that's how white gypsies appear. By the way, that's how white gypsies appear. And they're like, "Oh, I'm white." Nah, you're behaving like a puked up gypsy. Get out of here. And I'm not talking about picking your nose and leaving your booger against your own handkerchief, or against like your own clothes, or spitting on the ground, but not on someone. I'm not talking about that kind of behavior. I'm talking about like real, because that's like, oh, you're a gypsy if you do this, if you spit, you're a gypsy. No, that's like a pretext that gypsies use to try and make you try and manipulate you, you know. So was there anything else I want to add? Yeah, see what each and every one of these does. If you want to enable disable them, uh, as I said, take care regarding reading the title, because sometimes it says over here disable. If you disable it twice, over here it says disable, for example. If you disable it again, then it's gonna enable it. So if you enable it over here, it's gonna disable it. You understand? I'm gonna leave it not configured, but because I didn't read the description right now. I intend to do this for everything that's in the local group policy editor. But right now, I'm actually more concerned about this service over here that was showing me that error regarding that description that I showed you earlier over here. Now, right now, I want to get to the bottom of this. Why it says failed to read error code 2, and when I try to disable it, it says error. Because yeah, this is suspicious. I didn't. This shouldn't be here. And so it's probably something that like a malware. Who knows? Pre-installed. Yeah, we'll see. All right. Anything else in the folder? I mentioned these are just examples of third-party partners. They're swapping your the data they collect from you. Okay. I mentioned the widgets. It's just mentioning you like a few cases. It's not giving you like the the real. It's not giving you the real information regarding the real cases where people were framed using the AI Copilot Cortana and the widgets. Unfortunately, I gave the example with the Xbox services, for example, which are pre-installed. Loads of them are pre-installed and they're probably not being used by us, and are collecting data from us without us knowing, doing God knows what with it. Um, all right. Also, this one, how this disable, but this one's not super. This one's just if you want to make like your machine run a bit faster. How to disable features to save resources. Um, Over here we got legacy components. Okay, disable unless. So you just what was the command? Let's say programs and features. Don't have it. I think I accessed that. Okay, over here. So just press the Windows key like this one and type features. What? It didn't? No. Scratch that. Press the Windows key. Run. Is it command? No. Run. So Windows key, run over here, and type over here optional features. No space between them. And over here you got optional features, which you can disable in order to make your computer run faster. And for example, legacy components, is disabled because I'm not playing. Um, where is it? Disable legacy components unless playing very old games before 2005. Windows Sandbox, and it tells you over here, like Windows Explorer 11, you can disable this if it says you should be able to understand what most of these are doing and whether or not you want them active or not. And then you enable or disable them and click OK, and the changes should take effect, or just restart your computer after you make the changes over here and over here. Even after you enforce the command through command prompt, you should probably just restart your computer to refresh the system in order for all the changes to like work smoothly and be synchronized, so to say. But maybe it's not necessarily necessary. Maybe it's just me. Okay. I think that's it. Maybe it says something over here regarding the background permissions. Yeah, because if you go to add or remove programs, for example, at the camera, if you go to advanced options, it has app permissions similar to the phone. On your phone, you also have app permissions in the in the settings in the app list. Over there, if you select the app, it should open and scroll down on the phone. You should also see uh, a button named this, and if you click it, these permissions should open. I disabled these, because I don't want like the camera is working. You can see me right now, so I don't know which way the webcam is being used, um, and I don't want it. The thing is, it mentions over here something regarding um, background applications, permissions for background applications regarding these programs that are in the installed apps list. And I do not know how to find these background permissions uh, for those applications. I have no idea because I don't have any button like that over here. You know. And yeah, it's strange, but yeah, right now I don't know what to do about it. Okay, think that's it. Hope this helps. Stay blessed, stay vigilant. Hallelujah.